chosen vessels, what's the deal? Shout out to the galactic family. All right, everybody hit that like button, hit that share button, and don't forget to subscribe. It's DrewTube. We back at this thing. You obviously see where we at. I had to break free. I couldn't take it. Everybody hit that like button, hit that share button. Don't forget to subscribe. Hey, look, narcissistic parents pass the torch to narcissistic children because they never grow up and they teach their child to be a big kid just like them. You ever notice that narcissists are just like a big child? Children, there's an old, I believe the word is, you know what? I think the word is fadage or something like that. But I believe there's an old saying that, and I could be wrong on that, but I believe there's an old saying that children are to be seen and not heard. Narcissists are supposed to be seen and not heard. Children are supposed to be loved, cared for, experienced, and cherished, just like everybody, and not to say just because some parents have that motto, be seen, not heard, doesn't mean that they're bad parents. But I say that I would rather see and hear a child than to have to see and hear a narcissist. That's just me. But all right, narcissists, I believe personally, I think they're supposed to be seen and not heard. All right, but that's a whole nother video. All right, definitely a whole nother video. Look, narcissists are they're like big kids. Whenever they don't get the amount of attention from you, they kick, they scream, they whine, they lose the little attitude, and they start to get upset. And when you don't pay attention to them, when you don't look their way or acknowledge them, they start to get loud, and they like that attention from people. They like taking your focus off yourself, catching you off guard, doing something that they know is going to make you take that attention off of yourself and give more of a focus to them instead of what you may have going on. But keep focusing on yourself. When you hear them, don't turn around. When you see them, don't acknowledge them, and don't look, because it's going to, just as annoying as that may be, it's going to bother them a lot more than when they don't get that attention. They're used to everybody stopping what they're doing and either looking at them, talking to them, dealing with them. These are people with extremely big egos, and there's nothing wrong with having a big ego, all right? But your ego can't overpower how you view reality, and it can't make you think that you're better than others, even though it may. Everybody deals with that, but it's all about the person who brings himself back into perspective. Wait a minute, I'm not better than nobody else, and nobody's better than me. But in some cases, you are better. Nobody is necessarily created better because we're all made in the image and likeness of God. But as far as behavior and as far as favor, there are some people who are better than others because it's the choice that God made, and it's just the way of the creator. All right, so they got to take that up with the big guy. But they act like children when they don't get what they want. All up in your face, literally trying to get you to look at them, right? And it's all a distraction, because that's what the devil does. The devil uses people to distract you, things, and especially enemies. So people who you don't give attention to, people who you're not kissing their behind, all right, these narcissists, they want you to kiss their behind. When you aren't going to kiss their behind and make them your overlord, then you already know they have to come out seeking you, and they have to come seeking your attention. That attention-seeking behavior makes them, by default, an attention-seeking person. And depending on how bad they are at it, because everybody seeks attention, but people who are narcissistic in nature, those are your energy vampires, because they need that attention for a whole nother reason. They need that attention because it feeds their ego. It feeds their need for supply. So they're going to do anything they have to do to get it. And usually it results in a lot of like immature behavior. And you'll be looking at a full-grown adult. At least that's what you think you're looking at. And you'll see them and you'll be like, why is this person acting like a toddler? Why is this grown person, this grown man, this grown woman acting like a child? Why is my manager, why is my boss acting like a kid with the other coworkers? You know? So, and there's a whole, I'm going to make some videos on that, on how to operate around these people when you have to work with them and when you have to be with them. All right, because you know me, I had to figure it out, because hey, everybody needs to be able to supply their needs. As bad as they need supply, that's as bad as we need to supply our needs. But always remember that your supply comes from the Most High, right? And the way God views you is how you need to see yourself. All right, so just because you may not have a job or anything like that doesn't mean that you won't be blessed and that God won't help you out with what you need. We all know that. But you should definitely want to be able to take care of yourself and provide for yourself, so that way you'll be able to spend as least amount of time around these people as possible. And the more you hate your job, the more you dislike being around these types of people. That's why I always talk about self-improvement and starting a business, because the less you like being around them, the more that should motivate you to want to do something about it. If you don't like these people, if you don't like working around them, if you don't like seeing them, your off time should be dedicated to creating wealth for yourself or some type of income, so that way you can have enough money to be wherever you want to be, because that's what it's all about. Excuse the noise campaigns, but money is very important. And when it comes to dealing with people that you don't want to deal with, money will help put some space in between you and them. That's why I always talk about money, and I always talk about it, besides God being one of the best things you can do for yourself, as far as dealing with people who are narcissistic, because what they're going to do is they're going to make it difficult for you to want to be around them, and you're going to want to be away from them as much as possible. So the fact that you're not going to want to be around them, money is really going to help that, because it's going to bless you and make you be able to do some things that you want to do with your life, like go to places where you're happy and there's not as many people. Imagine being able to rent out the whole place for yourself. Imagine not even having to rent out a place, because you could just go to some place and it's just spacious. People there just focused on themselves, focused on their money, focused on God, focused on their good time, focused on their vacation, focused on their family, and they don't give a damn about you. There's places like that. There's places like that where the people are so rich and they're so nice and so kind. All they care about is their money and enjoying themselves. And and people who care about money, they get a bad rep, because it's like, that's all you care about. Money's pretty much, besides God, money's like the number one thing that you need. All right, some form of it has always been here, whether it's I've been salt, animals, gold, jewels, stones, crystals, money. You know, there's things to trade. You know, stocks, bonds. There's always some type of form of currency going around. So, and that's going to help you, because these people don't care about how you feel about them. They don't care, as you see. Prime example, they see me over here, they can see me through the bushes. And I take this path enough for people to, they know me, you know. They know what I come out here to try to do, or they were listening, or they heard me, or they were peeking through the bushes like they love to do. You know, they like to peek through the bushes. But besides that, they act like children. They don't know how to adult. All right. You know that shirt that says, "I don't feel like adulting today"? I'm surprised they ain't all walking around wearing that shirt, because it seems like they just don't feel like adulting. And that's okay. But you know, we don't let that bother us, and we don't let that stop us, because why? We treat them with the old age saying that children are meant to be seen and not heard. And narcissistic adults are children to be seen and not heard. You see these people out the corner of your eye, don't necessarily give them direct eye contact. They're going to try to fight for it. I went through a stage for a long time to where I'd put glasses on, because I didn't want to look at these people directly. But I picked up enough game, and just living life and experiencing and praying to God and asking him to show me certain things. And I'm blessed enough to be able to share them with you guys. So you don't have to look at these people directly. They're not that important. You look everywhere else around them and you act like you don't even see them, even if they're right damn in front of your freaking face. You look up, down, all around, and you just ignore them and act like they don't see you. Because isn't that what they do to you? When you say, yo, get a haircut, get a new shirt, get some new shoes, anything nice, get a new car, they gonna turn into Stevie Wonder. Just, I thought somebody was there. Is somebody, who's there? Who's there? You know, I don't see nobody standing there. If I did, I probably wouldn't care. They don't know that feeling's mutual. Do 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 do. They don't know that feeling is mutual. Sorry, I had to take you all through that. They don't know that feeling is mutual. That we don't care that they're there, just like they don't care we're there. But they have to act. The whole thing is about them copying you. That's why they're big kids. It's like they're copycats. That's the whole thing. They have to mirror your image. That's why they dress like you. They teach their kids the same thing. Everything that these people do to you, when they're around their children will be doing the same thing. That's why they dress like you. That's why when you get up near them, they act like they don't see you. It's because you're so focused on your life and living your life. All right. People who are focused on success, people who have a strong connection to the Most High, you're vibrating at the earth frequency. It's like you're connected to the resonance of the earth. You're connected to the frequency of the universe. There's numbers and patterns and all these things that coincide with that. All right, if you look at the Tesla theory and all these things, you look at designs and patterns of God, you'll see the mathematics out in nature. All right, that's what one thing that always magnetized me to information and knowledge. I'm like, yo, this stuff is everywhere. You can't go anywhere without seeing it. You look at the pyramids, you see the same nature that you see the same patterns that's in nature. You see the same patterns that's in the way your body is made up. You see the same patterns in cells, the brain, bone structure, cellular structure. All these things are the same patterns. All right, that's why God does things according to pattern. And these narcissists, they're not moving according to the pattern of God. That's why they're the children of Satan, children of the devil. It's all according to pattern. What pattern is that person following? Are they following the pattern of God, or are they following the freaking pattern of the devil? The devil can't exist without God. These narcissists can't exist without you. That's why they're always nosy all up in your business, because they have to find out what's the new thing to do. They got to find out what's the new food to eat, the new vegetables to take in, all right, the new nutrients. All right, they got to watch it. What's the new clothes to wear? What's the new music? They have to learn and study from you, because you're always getting new, fresh downloads, ideas. You're not afraid to do stuff. You know, just how you move, they always got to be watching. And the thing is, they act like children about it though, because they know that you're that person. But what does a bad child do when in class? A bad child acts up. A bad child distracts the other kids in class from trying to focus, from trying to pay attention. These are people who never changed. They stayed children. Only thing that changed was their physical form. It grew up. They didn't grow up. They still have the mind of a fifth grader. Are you smarter than a fifth grader? That's why they need to come back out with that show. I guarantee. I don't know if it's still on, but I don't know why they stopped it. They need to bring that show back out. Are you smarter than a fifth grader? The Narc edition. Because yo, they act like the difference between them and kids and how they and the behavior is few and far between. All right, the behavior is few and far between. They act just like children. All right, you take their toy away from them. You take your attention away from them. What do they got to try to do? Get all up in the corner of your eye? They got to stand over here. Like they strategically place themselves so you cannot miss them. Who in the hell has time for that? Who has time for all that? You know? So, yo, they're just like big kids. And the more you realize that these are people that you don't have to pay attention to. These are people for you to ignore and to go on about your business. These are people that are just being used by forces of evil to try to distract you from living your life, having a good day, enjoying yourself. The more it's not going to affect you, all right? Because When you get to the point where these people could do whatever the hell they want, and you could just that's a wonderful place to be. And it takes practice, and you may have to bring yourself back to that. It's not like, you know, I'm pretty sure there are some people who have achieved 100% Zen state oneness, like Jesus Christ. You could do what he did and greater. So until we get to that state, you'll just have to continuously. Oh, I smell something for a minute. You just have to continuously bring yourself back to that state. All right. So that's pretty much all it is. Like, you don't let them bother you. They're kids. Their behavior is annoying as hell. All right. It will bother you. It will get underneath your skin. It'll get on your nerves. It'll take up your whole day if you let it. And you just don't let it. All right. You don't let them affect you. You don't let them bother you. You don't let them ruin you. And if they are a narcissist, you stay away from them, obviously. You don't give that thing a second chance. You don't give that thing the time of day. You don't have, and this is the mistake that empaths have and children of the light have. We make the mistake of giving narcissists and vampires a pass, thinking that they're still an everyday, actual normal person. That's a meat suit. There's no soul in that body. And you have to, that's an entity. And you have to, that is an entity. That is not a normal person. You don't have to conversate. You don't have to shoot the breeze. You don't, because when it feels like you're talking to these people, don't it feel like you're being drained? Don't it feel like your energy is just being sucked out of you? Don't it feel like you want to go the other way, and then they see that and they make it difficult, and then they be appearing the other way where you was trying to go? Oh, all right, here they over here. Let me go over here. Boom, now they over here. And it's like, it makes you feel like you're trying to avoid people, but really all you're trying to do is go where the peace is at. You're not trying to avoid anyone. You're not trying to avoid anything. You're just trying to go where the peace is at. But God made us conquerors. All right? God made us conquerors. So we can conquer these people. They're real easy. The more you deal with yourself, the more you bring your focus, your attention back to yourself, they become like children, to be seen and not heard. They may try to get your attention. It won't bother you. They may try to steal your focus. It won't bother you. They'll try to get underneath your skin. It won't bother you. You'll be unaffected. All right. And I'm going to make a video on how to do just that, on how not to be affected by these people. I'm dropping that next. I'm going to give some more clarification on how to not be affected by these clowns, because they're clowns. Okay. They're clowns from Clown Town. Okay, well, yeah, wait till I get the extra bars for that one. That's some rough bars that go along with that song. So yeah, I gotta come up with some the clean version. Clown Town, Clown Town just left Clown Town. The narcissists stink. The attitude is brown. I don't know. Yeah, that was terrible. Yo, don't laugh at me. But yeah, man, these narcissists stink and their attitude is brown. They got an ishy attitude. If you get what I'm saying. I still did that. Give me my credit. Drops microphone. I still did my thing. But look, yo, they're just big kids, and they pass the behavior on to their children. And that's rough, because the kids don't have no say in it. Imagine you wake up like 15 years later with all the information out now, being in the Aquarius, the information age. That's why all the Aquariuses are pouring their information out. Now that we're in the information age, imagine 10 years later, your kid waking up to the fact that, yo, my dad raised me to be a narcissist. So it's like now they got the trauma of behaving like a person that they never want to be, wondering why they never had any real friends, wondering why people would be scared of them, run away from them, why nobody wanted to be their friend, why nobody would want to deal with them, not even scared of them, just why people just annoyed to shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, why people are just annoyed with these, excuse my cursing, but why people are just annoyed with these people. And yo, don't let them annoy you. They don't have the power to annoy you. All right. And we're gonna drop a video on that afterwards. But after this, but they don't have as much power as you think they do. And that's how you know, according to their pattern, they're of the devil. because the devil always tries to make him and things and circumstances appear like they're greater than good. They're greater than God. These negative circumstances aren't greater than the good that you desire or that you deserve. These negative people aren't greater than your good. All right, they're not greater than the good in you. They're not greater than the God in you. All right, when you're dealing with these people, remember who you serve. Like, yo, when you see these people, right? And this is God just hit me with this for this video. When you see these people, right? Think about them and their narcissism. Think about that. Think about them taking that up with Archangel Michael. All right. Think about them taking up that narcissism with Jesus. Think about them going against God with that narcissism. What would happen to them? They probably get struck down. All right. Probably get leprosy. All right. Or eye probably fall out. All right. They probably get binded and blinded on the spot. All right. They got coals and fires and brimstone all coming down from heaven aimed at them. So just think about that. Be like, yo, what? Imagine them come, because when they coming at you, that's who they're really trying to come against. They're really not trying to come against you. They're trying to come against you because for Christ's sake. They're trying to come against you for God's sake. So really, really believe that and really know that. Like, yo, they're not up against me. Give that to God. They are up against the Most High. And that's why they are going to be the most fried. Okay, lightning strikes, flat tires, engine blowouts, tire blowouts, financial breakdowns, being broke, joblessness. Okay, you never know what plagues the Most High is going to hit your enemies with. So pray for them and wish them the best, because you actually, like I always say, you actually want to hope that they change, because you don't want to see nobody lose their job. You don't want to see nobody lose their job at the hand of, imagine somebody that got on your nerves. If you seen them on the side of the road with a not being able to feed their family, you wouldn't want to see that. No matter how bad these people did you dirty and got on your nerves, depending on if it wasn't anything past being annoying or getting on your nerves. You wouldn't want to see them out there doing bad just because they gave you a little bit of headache here or a little stress or rage there. You may want to knock their block off, but even after knocking them out, you probably, you know what I'm saying, put their head underneath a block of ice and give them a little food stamp package. Here you go, player. Please don't bother me again. All right, here's some food and some money, and God bless you. All right, babies, see you later. Sorry I had to knock your dad out. But you wouldn't even do all that. You'd be like, dang, man. Man, dang, but you still, and that's another thing too. Actually, no, you wouldn't. All right, you don't. I take that back. Excuse me. Error. Whoever, yo, when God curses people and makes them broke, it's their own fault. They got to go through that. They got to experience that. That's not for you to don't be getting that could potentially end up making you have financial loss. Whoever God curses and makes broke, they got to go through that, especially if it's an enemy. If it's a random person that you ain't never seen, that ain't done nothing wrong to you, and they got the angel help me vibe, or you already know who to help and who not to help. That's why always, even when it's somebody there that you feel like you should help, God, am I supposed to help this person? If you feel that you are, good. If you get a feeling that you're not, God will let you know. Your instincts will kick in. Instincts. Am I supposed to help this person? You'll know. But yo, like, that's what's going to happen to these people. They think that it's all good, and that's why you don't have to worry about it, because they know not what they do. And like they have so much karma and so much bad coming to them, it's not even funny. And they're cursing their children. All right, you worrying about I was worried about, like, these narcissists was getting underneath my skin so bad. I'm sitting here praying prayers. I'm like, God, I pray for you to handle, take care of them, take care of their children. I'm like, man, I'm just sitting here praying all these prayers. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, this is God's battle, not mine. I will pray for the downfall and the destruction of my enemies, but I'm not going to wear myself out doing that. I'm not going to tire myself out doing that. I will pray without ceasing, but I'm not going to keep worrying myself over enemies. All right. And look, God will take care of them. He will handle them for you. And they're really cursing their own children because they're passing that narcissism down. So it's like they curse themselves. You really have to look at this thing from a higher level, from a higher point of view. It's bigger than somebody trying to get underneath your skin or get on your nerves. It's spiritual. They hate you because you believe in God, you believe in the Lord, and you dwell in the house of the Lord. You dwell in the spirit of peace, love, righteousness, and joy. And the devil seeks to kill, devour, and destroy people who do that. And he seeks to kill, destroy, and devour that energy. He wants to take you away off that peaceful frequency. He don't want you to be out here like, he wants you to be out here stuck on stupid, trying to get people off your mind and frustrated. Even if you do feel like that, this is still a great place to come, because then you can go come out here and hug a tree, and the tree will absorb all that negativity, send it back out into the ground where it'll be destroyed by the electricity in the earth. All right, they don't tell you that. All right, these trees, when you hug them, they heal you. Like you'll hug a tree, put your heart on a tree, and yo, you can heat, man. That's a whole nother video. You can heal yourself by hugging a tree, because they're connected to the earth, and the earth is a healing frequency. All right, that's why people come out here. The hippies would just lay out on the ground and lay out on the earth and the sun. All right, so you have to know that these people are just children, and they're going to pass that behavior on to their kids. Don't you worry about your future kids, or if your kids are going to have to deal with this, or if you're going to have to deal with narcissistic kids. To the overthinkers out there, to the people who have a very active mind, I know it might get like that, but there are a lot of thoughts, right? And make sure that you that's why you work on your mind, and you be in control of your mind. You take control of your mind. Wait a minute, relax, calm down, let go of the anxiety, let go of the worry, let go of the stress. All right, I'm doing my best. I'm better than evil. I'm better than a narcissist. I'm more powerful than evil. I'm more powerful than a narcissist. I'm more powerful than God. I'm more powerful with God in my life. All right, forgive me, Father. I'm more powerful than these demons. And I'm dropping the narcissistic affirmation video as well. I'm be dropping that. But they don't have as much power as you think. They're just kids. They're bullies, people that are trying to affect you negatively with their attitude, because you're not worshiping the ground they walk on. You're not making them your overlord, and they have to teach these things to their kids because it's a survival mechanism. They're just trying to teach their kids to survive, and that's the only, unfortunately, they only know how to do it negatively. They know how to teach their kids how to have power, a false sense of power over other people. They know how to teach their kids how to use their mind incorrectly, how to use other people incorrectly. You'll see the same dynamic of how the narcissistic parent raises their kids and how the narcissistic child deals with their friends and classmates in school. Or like a Angelica. Yo, we working today. Just like Angelica, just like how Stu was with Angelica's mom. A lot of dudes are out here underneath the wrath, or a lot of people are underneath the wrath of a narcissistic person in a relationship. Uh, uh, uh and a normal functioning family would be Tommy and Pickle's mom and dad, except for all of Stu's failures of him trying to become something. That's another video too. Why they had all those the dads in that video? Only real OG was the grandpa. Wow, yo, man. Yo, man, they put everything in the damn cartoons. If that ain't the truth, the only real man in that show was the grandpa, and the only real man in that show was the grandpa, because Stu, his brother, he was getting whipped by Angelica's mom, and then Lil and Phil's dad, he was getting whipped by the futuristic mom, Phil and Lil's mom. Like, them women was running them dudes, and ladies know that's not how it's supposed to go. The man is supposed to be running his household, so that way everything could be accordingly, because that's how God ordains it. But TV, and how they have it on TV is going to be the whole opposite. But that's a whole nother video. We don't want to get too distracted, but you'll have a mom like Angelica who passes down you'll have a mom like Angelica's mom who passes down the narcissism to Angelica. And that's why nobody like Angelica. She trying to control the babies. She trying to control Susie. She trying to control Chucky. And Chucky feared Angelica. He was always scared of her. He was scared. They got fear programs. All right. Like you damn near have to have an instructional guide on how to watch these shows, on who what which character to pay attention to or to emulate, because these kids see these shows and they go out and emulate what they see on the TV. So it's like you have people who will pick up the narcissistic program, pick up the fear program, but that's a whole nother episode, that's a whole nother video. But still, those parents, just like Angelica's mom, they pass that narcissism down. That's why I use that example. And they'll have Angelica playing with kids out in the public, thinking that it's cool being a bully. And if so, that's some people's survival mechanism, because that person is going to have to operate like that in life. They're going to have to step on people to get ahead. Just like Angelica's mom, she had to ruin some people's lives to get in that office. Always on that phone, demanding, you know. I don't see myself as that type of boss. You have to be stern, and you gotta be strict, and you gotta mean business. But you don't have to be evil and have to like be be rude about stuff. You gotta be real. And if somebody's not doing their job, they're not doing their job. If they got to get cut, if they had enough chances, then they got to go. But as far as the whole narcissism goes, you seen how Angelica was dealing with those babies. That's how her mom would be dealing with people in the workplace, controlling people, trying to making people do what they want. If you don't do what they want, they'll fire you. They'll let you go. Jonathan? She was always yelling at that Jonathan guy. All right. So these narcissists, they have to teach that to their kid as a survival mechanism, because they don't know how to teach their kid anything else. That parent, it was passed down to them. So even though they're passing that narcissism down to their child, they're still using and inflicting that damage of narcissism on their child, because even though they're teaching their child all that control, they're not going to teach them enough to get up underneath their grasp or to get away from them. So what they're doing is they're just teaching that child how to go out to the world to put more hurt and to put more demonic energy out into the world. It's a dog eat dog world. It is a dog eat dog world. But the one thing about it is I'm here to only step on people who trying to step on me. I'm not just voluntarily stepping on people just to step on them, and I agree with it being a dog eat dog world as far as competition. Like if you're in a sport, somebody else is in a sport, it's a dog eat dog world. You can't try to be best. Maybe off the court you could be a best friend, but it's like you wouldn't have another basketball player just because it's a dog eat dog world and I'm competing with you. I wouldn't like slice the tires of your tour bus or your game bus so you can't make it to the game, so you lose by default. I wouldn't be following you on the off time while you're out at the club and putting something in your drink so you can't wake up and play the next day. It's not that much of a dog eat dog world. Like I understand a dog eat dog world, but it's like I'm not going to do anything foul or dirty to get ahead. And that's where people receive bad karma. That's where narcissists end up not being able to follow their dreams. I was going to be this, but I got locked up because he had more CDs sold than me, so I shot him. And I got arrested, and I'm in jail for 18 years because he was hotter than me and I couldn't take it. You know, she was better than me, so I tripped her and made her break her leg while we were running and jogging. So now she's never going to be able to play again. And now because of that, the same thing happened to me a few years later. Like karma happens in mysterious ways. God works in mysterious ways. So it's like people who are narcissistic in nature, they're going that like whatever they put out, it's going to come back to them. So it may not come back when we want, but just don't worry about it. People act like kids. God sees all these things. He calls them scoffers. All right, let these people be scoffers. Let these people play around, keep playing around with God and everything. Let them keep playing, because their time is coming. And just know that this person is a kid, and unfortunately, they're going to pass those traits down to their kid as a survival mechanism. They have to make sure, just that their child survives. Unfortunately, they didn't learn, or they didn't upgrade, or they didn't become aware of any other way, or they still got, maybe maybe their bloodline has been passing that spirit down. Maybe their family just deals with that, and that's just the type of spirit that is on their family. There's some families out there with some spirits on them, and maybe they just particularly have to be one of them. But these narcissistic parents, they're going to pass that spirit, that narcissism down to their kids. All right, they're not going to have their child out there not being a narcissist. And a lot of times it's because they see it as a weakness. Narcissists see that if you're not like them, you're weak. So they don't want their child to be weak. So it's just a defense mechanism. Don't take it personal. They're just teaching their children how to survive. It's just that's a real dirty way to survive. You know, it's like somebody not playing by the rules. And hey, like, yo, some people, they just don't play by the rules. And it's not like everybody doesn't play by the rules. You know, some people cheat, get ahead. You know, not everybody does everything by the books. And still, even that's okay sometimes. But you don't do it to where you cheat another person, to where it stops another person from doing what they got to do. All right, nobody, everybody's done a little this or a little that, and you know, ask God to forgive them. But the one thing about narcissists is they'll do that and take a person out and disregard a whole nother life. Like they will disregard a whole life just to get what they want. And that's where you have sociopaths, and that's where you have psychopaths, and that's where narcissism goes totally wrong, and that's where teaching it to their child becomes a problem. But still, it's nothing we have to worry about, because we live in truth, we live in righteousness, we believe in good, we believe in God, and the battle's not ours. So what we have to do is realize that they are to be seen and not heard, and that's it. And when they act out, when they have their behavior, it's nothing to be upset about, and it's nothing that can bother you. And if you watch the video that I'm about to drop after this one, you'll see why. It's been another DrewTube special. Shout out to the chosen vessels. Everybody hit that like button, hit that share button, and don't forget to subscribe. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Welcome to the channel, and have fun. I'll see everybody in the next video. Peace.